everyone, this is Kushagra and we have with us a recommended candidate, alumnus of SSB Wing. We're proud to introduce Kushagra Sanwal. So Kushagra, I welcome you here. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. So, my name is Kushagra. I'm 18 years old and I had passed my 12th grade in 2021 year, and currently I'm pursuing BA Economics Honors from Delhi University, and I've been recommended from 24 SSB Bangalore. I was recommended on 17th March for NDA 148 course, Army.
Okay, so was that your first attempt?
Yeah, so that was my SSB's first attempt and written exams second attempt.
Okay, so Kushagra, as you have just passed your school and then you stepped into this. So what motivated you to join armed forces, or was that your dream since your since childhood?
So, there was this thing of joining the, army since the childhood. It was there in the back of my mind. But then, my grandfather, my Nana is in Air Force and my Dadaji was in Navy. So, of course, there was a thing ki, yes, I want to do this. But then, growing up, I want to do something different. But when I joined a boarding school in 11th, so I met a senior of mine who wanted to join the Air Force through NDA. He was very close to me. I had a junior, he wanted to join Army, so he was also pretty close to me. So that is how I got a bit motivated. And then, NDA was making much more sense to me when I came in 11th and towards the end. And, I was thinking what I want to do. So this was a thing which seemed to be pretty sensible and practical to me. So there was, and yeah. So I did it. My parents supported me in this decision. So yeah, that was great.
Okay. So Kushagra, how did you prepare for your NDA exam? As you have told me that this was your second NDA attempt.
Right. So talking about written, so I'll tell you, like, I gave my first attempt in NDA 146. So the mistakes I made that time, if I can, count it on, then it was like I had never had a fixed schedule. So that was one mistake that I did in my first attempt. The second was I did not really understand the syllabus, and that was the thing, that I did not understand the syllabus properly and the marks demarcation that are there in maths. My maths was weak, GAT was pretty good, but maths was weak, right? So I did not do that. Then in the second attempt, that was 148. 147 I couldn't give it because that time COVID second wave was there. My school was sealed up. We could not go out to give the exam. So 148 I gave. In 148, PYQs was the only thing that I did. And, MCQs. No more theory, nothing. Just revising the formulas in mathematics, revising a few concepts in science and GAT. That's it. Right. And PYQs and MCQs was the key. And mock test, of course.
There's a lot of pressure during the 12th standard with boards, and your future is going to be decided by that. So how do you manage to take out time for NDA? Like, is it required to take out time separately for NDA, or the syllabus itself is enough?
So I did not take out time in my 12th. That is why I couldn't clear the written in my 12th itself. But then now I have many friends who have done it in 12th. So okay, I'll tell you, maths paper, you can easily do it with 12th if you are also preparing for any other entrance exam, right? And if I talk about GAT exam, then English, okay, you can solve questions and all. You can take out another hour or so from your busy schedule in 12th and do English. Talking about science and GAT, then science and GAT is pretty basic. Science is, up till 10th itself. So you just need to revise the concepts, make a note, like make notes. That's what I did. Right, and I used to revise it before writing the exam or writing any mock test, right? So that is the thing you can do, and yeah, it's pretty decent to do it in 12th. Like, it's manageable, nothing like that ki nahi kar sakte. I did not do it, of course, but yeah, I did it after 12th.
Did you drop after your 12th, or you continued your studies and prepared along with that?
I did not drop, but it was sort of a drop only. Like, I joined a college in November. Like, Delhi University admissions were going on pretty late. So I did not have anything to do in the 4 5 months after my board exams. Like I did not write the boards, but after I came back home, I did not have anything to do. So I was fully focused on written itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Kushagra, it's a very personal question. Like when you did not, could not clear the exam, how does it feel when you are actually very much serious about that thing and you are not even clearing the first step? How does it feel like?
So I'll tell you, it was around 5:30 or 6. I had gone to play football. So I was coming back. Then I saw, 6, 7, 8 missed calls of my friends. They were asking about the result. So I came back home. I called him, क्या हुआ? Then he was like, number बता, roll number बता. So I did not know my roll number. तो मैं पूछा क्या हुआ? बोला result आ गया. हुआ कि नहीं? मैं बोला रुक जा. I'll check it and I'll let you know. So I checked it, I checked it twice, thrice, नहीं था. I searched it also, तब भी नहीं मिला. So there was not a sad feeling or anything, but then I don't know, it was a pretty neutral feeling at that very time. But after that, when I was there in my room alone, I was thinking कि अच्छा क्या हुआ क्या हुआ क्या हुआ. Then I was feeling a bit sad. थोड़ा सा रोना आया, but then yeah, it was fine. Like written, yeah, I knew I have three more attempts. I'll do it. So not a big deal.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So confidence was there. So confidence
Yeah.
is the key actually.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So how do you come across SSB Wings? How do you come to know about SSB Wings?
Okay, so my SSB was on 13th March and my interview and psych part was prepared, but mera GTO was lagging. I was basically procrastinating GTO classes and it was around Feb end, I guess. So there was only 20 days left or so. I was scrolling through Instagram. I came to know about SSB Wings. वहाँ पे reel वगैरह आई थी, I guess. And I saw their story where they were, they were promoting their GTO course, which is going to start on 28th or 23rd Feb. I can't recall. So I dropped a message on the Instagram DM itself. Then, Sir Atmat sir, I guess, sent me the link and all. I registered and yeah, so that is how I came across. Then GTO class was going on. Then Vishal sir told me, then he asked me, when is your SSP? मैं बताया 13th March. So he was like, psych assessment or mock interview दे दो. So I gave it. So that is how I came across SSB Wings.
Okay. So how's your experience? How has been your whole experience in SSB Wings?
My experience has been very, very great, I would say. GTO course was absolutely stunning and psych assessment also was good. Sir called me, he was there for about half an hour, 45 minutes or even more than that. पूरा PIQ देखा, SD वगैरह देखा. He told me कहाँ पे I need to improve, कहाँ पे not. Then I was facing issues in VAT. And this was just 1 week before my exam, my SSB. So he sent me a few VAT samples on WhatsApp and then I did it. And mock interview was very, very, very good Umang sir ke saath. I was a bit nervous in the start, but then it went on, flowing. It was very good, very good. And whatever feedback he gave, I applied that in my SSB also. So yeah.
Okay, so that will come to later on. But I wanted to know about your GTO thing. Like, was that online course or offline course?
So that was an online course, 5-day online course on
Okay.
Google Meet.
So, like, there is a perception that you cannot practice ground tasks online because
Correct.
you need to be physically there and doing things. So, do you feel the same after attending that course?
So we were also physically there and we were doing things because sir was teaching us just theory. He was not spoon feeding us. He taught theory, basic GTO के rules वगैरह. And then he was sending us photographs, GTO structures की on our WhatsApp group. वहाँ हम draw करते थे diagram on our notebook and solve it and then show it to sir. So it was pretty practical in that sense. बट जो परसेप्शन है कि अच्छा फट्टा फंसा के तुम देख पाओगे कि हो पाएगा नहीं हो पाएगा, तो दैट इज नॉट द केस. अगर आपको सीखना होगा आप ऑनलाइन भी सीख जाओगे, नहीं सीखना होगा तो फिर चले जाओ ऑफलाइन, वहाँ पे भी नहीं हो
Absolutely.
पाएगा.
So, it's not a game of gamma.
या
Right. Okay, so Kushagra, when you were like, do you feel like that you were facing problems in ground tasks before attending the course? Like, did you practice on your own
Yeah, I used to practice
before
on my
attending the
own,
course?
but I was not confident enough in my ground task, I would say. Because I started preparing for SSB when I was preparing for written. So I was already taking classes, from an online platform. So I had groomed myself pretty much, but then GTO was something जिसमें I was lacking. right? And I felt कि नहीं इसकी वजह से रहना नहीं चाहिए, right? So that is why I
Right.
took coaching from SSB Wings.
Right.
Yeah,
So when you apply those ideas or all that practice, so definitely we can see it has worked and it has given the result.
correct.
But how were you feeling when you were looking at the structures and you were able to find out, like, were you able to find solutions to every structure there?
So I'll tell you, basically PGT में तो I was not able to do much because structures were pretty difficult, and moreover it's a group of 10-12 people, you don't get much chance to do it. But in HGT, that is half group task, I was the one who sailed the group along, right? Sailed the group through. So I solved all the
Wonderful.
structures pretty much. So that was the case. So yes, of course, I could see the result in my SSB, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So this was about PGT, HGT, and command task also. I hope went like that only.
Yeah. My command task was a bit difficult, but then so I could do it. I could sail through it easily.
So what was he changing the colors all the time and
Yeah,
making
yeah.
it
So I'll
difficult?
tell you one incident there in CT. So very first obstacle. So it was a pretty messed up obstacle, and वहाँ पे color demarcation was not proper. It was pipes and all made से कुछ उन्होंने ऐसा structure बना था आरो जैसा, and उसके अंदर काफी सारे marks थे which were not pretty prominent. समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था कौन सा red है कौन सा blue है. So I was putting somewhere. So he's saying no, this is red. So I told him, sir, this is blue. So he himself was getting a bit confused. So he came here, he explained कौन सा blue है कौन सा red है, and then he told me कि अच्छा अब कर लो, तो then हो गया था, then I could do
Okay.
it.
So have you heard of the thing that I don't know if your group was discussing this or not, but there is a perception that the number on which you are being called for command task actually tells you whether you are being selected or not. So was there any such kind of a myth?
So I'll tell you, I was test number 27, and my group was from 21 to 29, total 9 people. I was the very first one to be called. And then 27,
Okay.
28, 29. So all three of us got recommended. So I don't know if it's true or not, but
Okay.
yeah.
So these stories are different in different boards and everything.
Exactly. So that's not the case, to be very honest. There's no such thing like that. So I don't know. We're not the assessors. We don't know what's going on in their mind, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are other tasks too in ground testing. For example, your group discussion, your lecturing, where your knowledge is being tested, and not only knowledge, there are a lot of factors around it. So how were you preparing for your current affairs and being updated? What were you doing for that?
I did not really prepare for current affairs. I took on some general topics and उसके बारे में I was reading and notes बना लिए. Like जितना lecture rate में मैं बोल सकता हूँ उतना notes बना लिए. That was more than sufficient information. And then दो तीन बार वो पढ़ा in the register, and then I used to speak in front of either camera के सामने, I'll record myself and then watch it later, or I was seeing myself stand practicing in front of the mirror. So that थोड़ा body language भी पता चल जाए and कहाँ पे मैं eye contact कर पा रहा हूँ या नहीं वो भी चीज़ हो जाए. So that was the case. Now talking about the knowledge part, I was taking ये सब common topics के थोड़ा बहुत सा like many YouTube channels and everything you can get there. And आजकल तो Telegram groups में there is a list जो कि निकल जाती है कभी कभार कौन से SSB में कौन से topics आए हैं, तो you get a general fair idea कि अच्छा आपको lecturate में किस तरह के topics मिल सकते हैं. So my topic was artificial intelligence. So there's a lot to speak about artificial intelligence. आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, right? So that is what I did. मतलब knowledge था, बट वहाँ पे आना एंड वो सब थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. मैं थोड़ा सा नर्वस था लेक्चरेट की स्टार्टिंग में, लेकिन विद इन 25 सेकेंड्स और सो आई वाज प्रीटी कॉन्फिडेंट एंड मैंने बोल दिया था आराम से. So that was the case.
Okay. So you get 3 minutes to prepare your whole lecturate. So how do you utilize those 3 minutes? How did you organize your subtopics, or did you make 30 seconds bullet points or something like that?
No, I did not do that. I first 10-15 minutes तो थोड़ा सा टॉपिक कौन सा लूँ उसमें चले जाता है, किसमें ज़्यादा बोल पाऊंगा या किसमें ज़्यादा
10-15
इंफॉर्मेशन है.
minutes? Did you get
Sorry,
enough time?
10-15 seconds, I'm sorry. 10-15 seconds. तो वो सब डिसाइड किया, देन मोटा मोटा आप लेक्चर 8 को इंट्रोडक्शन, मेन कंटेंट थोड़ा सा, एंड देन कंक्लूजन में बांट सकते हो। तो दैट इज व्हाट आई डिड। इंट्रोडक्शन में थोड़ा टॉपिक इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया, एंड क्या क्या बोलना है, क्या बोलना है, क्या नहीं बोलना है, वो सब बोल दिया, एंड थोड़े से रिलेटेड, समथिंग रिलेटेड टू एआई। देन कंटेंट्स में चले गए कि बेसिकली होता क्या है, स्टार्ट थोड़ा सा कैसे हुआ, थोड़ी सी हिस्ट्री बता दी, थोड़ा सा करंट सिनेरियो बता दिया, एंड व्हाट वुड बी द यूजेस एंड चेंजेस यू कैन सी इन द एआई इंडस्ट्री, एंड कंक्लूड कर दिया। तो मैंने प्रेपरेशन टाइम में ये करा था कि मैं कैसे बोलूंगा, थोड़ा बहुत मैंने दिमाग में एक बार बोल लिया था उसको, राइट। तो दैट इज व्हाट आई थिंक हेल्प मी, एंड मैंने ऑलरेडी वो टॉपिक प्रिपेयर किया हुआ था, बुलेट्स तो बने हुए थे दिमाग में, लाइक हिस्ट्री वगैरह काफी कुछ था दिमाग में। तो वही आई जस्ट ब्रश थ्रू इट वंस, एंड देन आई वेंट फॉर द लेक्चर 8.
Obviously, you had practice. That is why you didn't face problem while structuring your lecture. Otherwise,
Correct.
people go blank while speaking as well. So that is what is needed. You must practice it before. Okay. So how was your GD? Was there anyone in your group who was not letting other people speak, or some kind of a scenario? How you faced that?
Yes, like it was there. सबकी जीडी में होता ही है ऐसा, मतलब एक दो तो होते हैं जो कोऑपरेट नहीं करते, बट देन या वी मेड थ्रू इट, नॉट अ बिग डील.
Okay.
Yeah.
So seems like GTO went really well, and let's move to the side test. So like the major problem which people face is not getting the theme, or people actually chip count the theme. So this is the very major problem people do. So people come across, and this is the major mistake people do. So how do you practice that?
Okay,
So is there any practice
TAT.
needed for that? Like a lot of people say that there is no practice needed for side tests or something, all these things.
No, that also depends upon your level. मतलब अब किसी ने, he's a very good writer, good imagination and all, then yeah, you can sit there and write the stories in 4 minutes. But for me it was मतलब not that very easy or that very difficult. But yeah, जितना चाहिए था उतना practice किया मैंने. And okay, talking about how did I get the themes and all, तो uh, I watch a lot of YouTube. Watch a lot of movies and all. I read थोड़ा बहुत books भी पढ़ लेता हूँ. So ये सब लोगों की स्टोरीज भी होती है और खुद की स्टोरीज भी होती है जो खुद एक्सपीरियंस करी है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई प्ले फुटबॉल, तो अगर वहाँ पे एक टीएटी में आपको फुटबॉल का इमेज आ गया, तो आई राइट वन ऑफ द इंसिडेंट्स दैट हैपेंड ड्यूरिंग माय ट्रेनिंग, और रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड दैट, राइट. सो इट गेट्स नॉट दैट वेरी डिफिकल्ट, इट्स प्रीटी इजी टू राइट अराउंड दैट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इन योर लाइफ. अब जैसे एक स्टोरी आई थी, एक बच्चा था वहाँ पे, उसके मम्मी पापा उसको डांट रहे थे, तो मैंने बना दी थी, एसएसबी में आई थी, तो आई रोट इट अराउंड कि हिज बोर्ड्स वर गोइंग ऑन, ही वाज नॉट वेरी गुड इन स्टडीज, उसके प्री बोर्ड में बेकार मार्क्स आए थे बिकॉज ही डिड नॉट स्टडी थ्रू आउट द ईयर, ही वाज प्रीटी मच इंडल्ज्ड इन एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज एंड ऑल, एंड देन उसने एंड में बोर्ड्स में कैसे तैयारी कर ली, पीवाईक्यूज लगाए, उसने टाइम टेबल बनाया, हेल्प वगैरह ली टीचर्स से. तो दैट इज हाउ आई डिड. दैट हैपेंड रियली विद मी ऑल्सो in 10th boards. So it was not very difficult for me to imagine a situation like that and write a story around it. तो the key is कि stories पढ़ो लोगों की, मतलब कैसे बड़े बड़े लोगों ने कुछ कुछ किया है, to solve problems. Yeah, their life stories and all. तो वहाँ से थोड़ा इंस्पिरेशन भी मिल जाता है, थोड़ा बहुत आइडियाज भी आ जाते हैं ऑफ कोर्स फॉर टीएटी, एंड आपकी खुद की लाइफ में भी मतलब स्टोरीज मिल ही जाती हैं. आसपास लोगों को ऑब्जर्व करो, ऑब्जर्वेशन इज अनदर की, राइट. कि आप मम्मी पापा से बात करो, दे आर 45, 50, 51, उनके पास काफ़ी सारी स्टोरीज होंगी जो तुम लिख सकते हो, राइट. एंड दादी से बात करो, दादाजी से बात करो, किसी से भी बात करो, टॉक टू योर फ्रेंड्स, दे विल नरेट यू सम स्टोरीज एंड ऑल, राइट. यू कैन यूज दैट इन योर टीएटी. So that was the scene.
Right. So most of the time people have routines, people know what to write, but putting them into words is a task in itself.
Correct.
And that too in time bound. So that needs practice. I hope you'll agree with me.
Correct.
So similar thing happens in WAT. So words are very much common. You have a lot of ideas about it, but writing them in 15 seconds, this is actually the real task.
I did not have ideas in that. So I'll tell you what I did for that. I was facing major issues in that. right? So it was around what 4 days before my SSB. I went on to Google, got what 500, 600 words, and in 3, 4 hours I just sat down and I wrote the answers. That's it. तो एक फ्लो बन गया दिमाग में, वही 4-5 दिन तक कंटिन्यू रहा और हो गया साइक टेस्ट. Otherwise
Okay,
that was
wonderful.
my gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, side testing itself is a very tiring exercise because for 2, 3 hours you're just sitting and writing. So mentally, it's very it exerts you to a level till the last point. So, okay. So I hope it went well for you,
Yeah.
and so you also took guidance from Rajesh sir for that.
I just got my
Okay.
psych assessment done after my GTO class from
Okay.
Vishal sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did the feedback help you?
Yeah, of course it did. So he was like कि VAT थोड़ा सा improve करो, बाकी सब is very good. And SD थोड़ा सा improve करना था, of course. That was the very first time I wrote an SD. I
Okay.
never prepared it पहले.
So, did you ask your parents and your friends and your teachers about you, or it was your perception of what they think about you?
Okay, so I'll tell you, parents. Yeah, of course, I did ask my mother. ऐसे ही मजाक मजाक में पूछ लिया था कि क्या अच्छा लगता है, क्या नहीं लगता. Then I legit texted my teacher कि okay, this is the thing. I'm going for an interview. SSB के लिए जा रहा हूँ and I want legitimate responses, not anything sugar coated या सिर्फ positive बता दो. Give me my weaknesses also. So that was the case. I texted my teacher. She sent a response and मैंने उसको analyze करके लिख दिया. Parents का हो गया. Then friends का तो नहीं पूछा था. कौन ही बताता है ऐसे weaknesses.
Okay.
So I did not ask my friends, but yeah, friends का खुद ही सोच के लिख दिया था मैंने.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, coming to your interview part now. Okay. So, how was your interview? Like in a single word, if you talk about, were you grilled or did it went smooth?
It was very smooth, normal interview, nothing grilling or not, and that. It was pretty smooth, basic, simple CIQ questions जो होते हैं, rapid questions. That was the case. That's it. And
Okay.
थोड़ा सा interview was a bit choppy क्योंकि मैंने थोड़ा सा end moment से prepare किया था. अब 1-2 loopholes थे जहाँ पे I could improve in interview, but then yeah, ठीक है.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you underwent a mock interview also here. So, how did it help you?
That helped me in the interview like पूरे तरीके से. पहले I had never given a mock interview. I had just a fair idea कि क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. Do's and don'ts पता थे, कैसे आंसर करना है, कैसे questions पूछे जाते हैं वो पता थे. But then when you practice, like बाहर से तो फुटबॉल देखने में बहुत मजा आता है. जब अंदर फील्ड में जाके खेलते हैं you can't play, right? तो मेरे साथ भी मॉक टेस्ट में वैसे ही, मॉक इंटरव्यू में वैसे ही हुआ था. It was a bit difficult to do in interview, right? To answer, like आपके दिमाग में पहले से जवाब होते हैं. You have framed it in your mind when you are practicing पहले से घर पे, right? तो मेरे को अगर कोई क्वेश्चन आता था इंटरव्यू का तो मैं दिमाग में वो आंसर बना लेता था, सोचते रहता था उसके बारे में. But then when you have to translate it and speak up, then it's bit difficult. तो मॉक इंटरव्यू में मेरे को ड्रिल हो गई थी एक अच्छे से, राइट? अपने थोड़े से वीक पॉइंट्स पता चल गए थे कि क्या बोलना है, क्या कैसे नहीं बोलना है, क्या करना है, आई कांटेक्ट मिला करना है एंड ऑल दैट थिंग. तो वो सब बता दिया था सर ने. तो दैट इज हाउ इट हेल्प मी. मैंने लाइक आई कांटेक्ट वाज अ थिंग जो मैंने तोड़ा ही नहीं इंटरव्यू में. आंखों में आंखें डाल के बात कर रहा था बस.
So, how long was your interview?
माय इंटरव्यू वाज an hour or so.
Okay. So, did it feel like that? You never realized like Christmas time has passed,
No,
right? Okay. So, like you are telling that all questions were mostly from your personal life, right? And was there any question which you were not able to answer, and how did you manage that?
Okay, so he asked my weakness. I told him कि physical fitness and all is the weakness. तो उसके पहले उन्होंने already मेरा schedule पूछ लिया था कि what do you do in the day. I had told him whatever I do in the day, my schedule, and उसमें workout वगैरह कहीं था ही नहीं. तो he asked कि oh so what are you doing to improve your physical fitness. तो मेरा दिमाग चल गया. मैंने बोल दिया सर 8:30 to 10 में जब फुटबॉल खेलने जाता हूँ तो फ्रेंड्स आते हैं तो वो लोग टीम बनाने में टाइम लगाते हैं. तो आधा घंटा आई गेट अ स्लॉट एंड आई रन इन माय सोसाइटी अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 4.5-5 kilometers in that half an hour. तो 1 महीने से अभी वही कर रहा हूँ, तो दैट इज हाउ आई एम ट्राइंग टू इम्प्रूव माई फिटनेस. तो yeah, so that was one thing that I changed it in the interview itself, during the
Okay.
interview.
So did he cross question you over that? No? Okay.
He understood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So if I ask you to compare like the mock interview which you did and the actual SSB interview, so which one you felt was difficult for you to handle?
Mock interview, of course, was very difficult. एक तो questions were थोड़ा difficult. Then second interview seemed easy because I had given the mock interview, right? So that is why.
So, Kushagra, these were all three assessments we have already discussed. So, if I ask you a very personal question, which is the favorite part of SSB? Like, which is your favorite part of SSB from all these three assessments?
Ground tasks. Not even
Sorry?
GTO, not even full GTO, just ground tasks. PGT,
Okay.
LGT and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how many from your batch got recommended?
It was a batch of 29. 85 during screening, 25 got in, 9 got recommended out of total.
And from your group?
My group was maximum 5 people out of 9 got recommended.
Oh, that's a huge number.
Yeah. 5.
Okay. So, this was your first SSB, as you have told. So, if I ask you about screening, so were you scared of screening?
Yes, I was scared of screening because I'd seen my friends who were pretty good at it getting screened out earlier SSBs. So I was a bit tensed about it, and also Vishal sir was like, बस तू screen in हो जाना, recommend तो हो ही जाएगा. तो थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में I was a bit tensed screening, but हो गया था, like I did it.
So, what do you think? Like, is it actually a game of luck, or you can actually make sure that you will be getting screened in?
So there's a quote, luck favors the brave, right? If you have practiced
Absolutely.
it, तो luck तो साथ में होगा ही, right? अब अगर नहीं किया, you've not practiced for the screening, तो फिर तो कोई नहीं बचा सकता, correct? तो that is the case.
Okay. So sometimes, like how was your group? How many people were there in your group, and how did it go? So can you just explain a bit?
Okay, so I'll tell you about the screening. We went into the room. वहाँ पे बड़ा सा जो hall होता है. We gave the instructions, everything. They showed the picture. First OIR होता है. OIR was very difficult, like pretty difficult for us. लेकिन ठीक है, हो गया, कर लिया. सबने कम ही करे थे OIR हमारे ग्रुप में, out of all 85 candidates. Then उसके बाद he showed us a picture. Then they give the instructions कि you don't merely have to describe the picture, but write a story revolving around it with 3 elements in it. What led to the situation, what is happening in the situation, and what happens after. तो 4 minutes हुए.
You can be a GTO. Okay.
तो वो सब instructions दिए. Then he told us कि कैसे लिखना है, क्या age वगैरह आपको box वगैरह बनाना होता है, वो सब कर लिया था हमने. Then we wrote a story. We wrote the thing 4 minutes and all. I did it, completed it. Now they take you out, they make you stand there, they divide you into the group of 15. So I was chest number 72 in the screening. So my screening was in the last itself. Now here is the key. Here is the most important part, which can help you get screened in. एक minute. Yeah. So which can help you get screened in. So जो मेरे पास टाइम बच गया था आफ्टर राइटिंग द स्टोरी एंड गोइंग इनसाइड द रूम फॉर जीडी, उसमें मैंने मिनिमम 50 बार तो अपने दिमाग में स्टोरी नरेट कर ही ली थी. कंटिन्यूसली साइड में जाके इट वाज गोइंग ऑन इन माय माइंड. बोलते जा रहा था मैं. तो दैट वाज द थिंग दैट हेल्प मी, राइट? तो रूम में घुसे, हुआ 72 पे आया, नरेट किया, आधी या कुछ स्टोरी सुनी उन्होंने मेरी, जीटीओ ने, एंड देन ही सेड नेक्स्ट. देन ग्रुप डिस्कशन में तो ऑफ कोर्स फिश मार्केट बनता ही है. I did not participate in the first time when all 15 people were discussing, क्योंकि समझ ही नहीं आता कुछ, ना मेरे को समझ आता ना उन्हें समझ आता. I would have just contributed to the fish market, तो फायदा नहीं था. Then he divided the group into 2. I was in the second group. Then our discussion started. Someone took the lead. Then somewhere group was lacking, मतलब थोड़ा सा dead end sort of हो रहा था. तब मैंने फिर अपने inputs डाल दिए फटफट से. मैंने एक बार gather कर लिया कि अच्छा सबका common point क्या था, क्या क्या डिस्कस हो चुका है, हमें क्या और ऐड करना चाहिए, एंड थीम मैंने और एक बार बोल दी और फिर बोल दिया कि चलो अब और एक्शन डाल देते हैं। तो सबने अग्री किया, फिर डिस्कस किया, थोड़े से एक्शन से एक दो मैंने और डाल दिए, एंड देन हमारा ग्रुप डिस्कशन एंडेड। देन देयर इज अ टाइम व्हेन यू नो दे गिव यू, यहाँ पे बोथ द ग्रुप्स हैव टू डिस्कस टुगेदर, कुछ 30 सेकंड्स और 1 मिनट दे गिव। तब भी मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला था बिकॉज इट वाज द सेम थिंग व्हिच आई हैव सेड, वो सब रिपीट ही कर रहे थे, मतलब मेरे ग्रुप वाले, जो डिस्कस हो चुका था। तो इट वाज नॉट अ थिंग दैट आई वांटेड टू कंट्रीब्यूट इन। तो वो हो गया। देन या एक किसी को बोला कि ये कर दो, स्टोरी नरेट कर दो, मैंने वॉलंटियर नहीं किया था, किसी और ने किया। देन उन्होंने स्टोरी बता दी, एंड देन या वी वर मूव्ड आउट फ्रॉम द रूम।
Okay, so what do you feel like? Mere contributing or just speaking or giving definitely giving a very valid point will definitely add on. But in a situation where nobody is letting you speak and just giving a point when there is a gap. Okay, so do you think it will help?
या ऑफ कोर्स इट विल हेल्प, क्योंकि एकदम से जब ग्रुप ऐसे डेड हो रहा है, आपने एकदम से जान डाल दी उसमें बोल के कुछ कुछ, राइट, एंड यू हैव गिवन द डायरेक्शन एंड सॉर्ट ऑफ अ थिंग टू डिस्कस अपॉन, राइट। तो मैं वही करता था ग्रुप डिस्कशन में। थोड़ा सा जब ग्रुप थोड़ा सा लाइट हो रहा है, या कुछ कुछ लोग होते हैं जो बार अब थीम के आगे हम निकल चुके हैं, वी आर डिस्कसिंग द एक्शंस, लेकिन वो फिर भी थीम पे अटके होते हैं, तो मैं तब बोल देता कि ओके वी हैव सो फार डिस्कस द नंबर ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स, वी हैव सो फार डिस्कस द थीम एंड ऑल्सो लेट इज नाउ पुट द एक्शंस इन इट एंड कंक्लूड। तो मैं वैसे कर देता था, तो दैट वाज अ थिंग दैट probably helped me, I guess.
So, have you encountered any such situation when you were not agreeing to anybody else's point, and how did you actually manage that kind of situation?
Okay, so I can't recall if there was any situation where I wasn't agreeing with someone or so, but okay, I did not say anything to them पर्सनली ऐसे, लेकिन हाँ ग्रुप पे बोल दिया कि ओके ओके लेट अस डू दिस, सो इवन द ग्रुप अंडरस्टैंड्स व्हिच इज मोर सेंसिबल एंड मोर रिलेटेड टू द पिक्चर, दे पिक दैट थिंग अप एंड नॉट समथिंग व्हिच इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू इट। तो अगर उनको मेरी बात पसंद आई तो दे विल टेक दैट अप, अगर उनको मेरे पीछे वाले की किसी की बात पसंद आई तो दे विल टेक दैट अप। तो दैट वाज द थिंग, ऐसे किसी को वो नहीं बोला कि अच्छा आई डोंट अग्री विद यू और समथिंग, सबके साथ ही अग्री कर लिया था।
Right. And how many from your group got screened in?
My group, I guess 4 or 5 people got in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like it seems very much obvious, or it sometimes results are like unexpected. That how this person did not get screened in. So has that happened?
No, I don't think so, because their system of testing is something who am I to think of that कि अच्छा ये कैसा हो गया वो कैसा हो गया, but yeah, like some of my very good friends, they never got screened in this SSB, एक महीने बाद उनकी एक और SSB आ गई, उसमें वो recommend हो गया, तो तब लगता था कि यार हाँ थोड़ा कुछ है, but then yeah, nothing like that.
Okay, so
you're visible and
I hope I'm
audible.
visible.
Yeah.
Okay, so now coming to the last part where you get to see all the officers in uniform together. That's the conference. So, how's your conference? Were you nervous before that? What was the feeling?
Conference के पहले तो I was very nervous. I was sitting outside. Our discussion was taking around what 20-25 minutes. I don't know what we were discussing so much. Then उसके बाद I was called in. Tab also, the question answer session went on for another 20-25 minutes. He asked me everything, in and out, everything. President was taking the sort of a mini interview only, you can say. So he was asking me questions. I was just looking inside his eyes. He was looking inside mine. I kept on answering. He kept on asking. I kept on answering. So that was the case that went on. Then after 20-25 minutes, I moved out.
Right. So that fear or nervousness is just for those seconds until you have entered the room.
Yeah, I did not look at other officers. I was just looking at my president. Not even the full president. I was just looking inside his eyes. That's it. I did not look at anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your focus was clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kushagra, it was really nice talking to you. And when are you going to join NDA?
as of now, I'm physically unfit, like medically unfit. So if I
Okay.
get fit, then I'll join in July. Joining starts on 2nd July.
So what's your reason of this
Sorry?
temporary rejection or what we call it?
Yeah, it's a temporary rejection. Like, it will get cured easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wish you all the very best and we hope to see you in all your dreams very soon.
Thank you so much,
And
ma'am.
that's it. It was really good talking to you, Kushagra.
Cool. Thank you so much, ma'am.